Shalom unto you, part 12. So, I think, I don't, all right, look. I don't know how anybody else tries to share information. Reddit kind of, left a sour taste in my mouth in doing writing. And I kind of like the visual storytelling mode because I like the idea of my great-great-grandchildren being able to see what I was up to, right? I really like that. Now, I've kept a journal, diary, notes for many years. Somehow managed to keep up with a lot of them through the chaos of addiction and just spiritual warfare and all of that, right? But this is kind of appealing, and I'm no good at 1-minute sound bites. Because the information that I'm trying to share, I think it has to be shared in a longer piece of info in order for you to follow along with it, because the research that I've been doing covers multiple states, multiple decades, and truthfully, I prayed to God and I said, look, I'm just giving it all to you. You're going to be the judge of all of it. You're going to provide what I need. And I'm equally yoked. After all these years, you're no longer dragging me with you, right? I'm walking with you, equally yoked, and putting all my faith and trust in you. So whatever happens with this, I know that I'm speaking truth, not my truth, but the truth of the matter. And I know God's going to sort it out for his glory and the good of us that are his children. And remember that he recorded our names in the Lamb's Book of Life before he set the earth and its foundation. So his children have been his children all along, right? We can be led astray because we're stubborn. I think it actually says thick, copper-headed and thick-necked, right? So I say all that because we're gonna revisit Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and have a conversation about Gregory Allen and how I think he was probably a product of this MK Ultra stuff, just like like Candace Owens was talking about with Brigitte Macron. I don't even know, the he, girl. No. Yeah, that. And the president of France. Because I think it's all connected. Because Gregory Allen was in the military. This guy, Wayne DeMond, was also in the military. Gregory Allen had been implicated in the late 70s in the death of a young teenage girl in North Carolina, Donna Emmels. And there's a drug connection to that as well. I'll put up some screenshots. And then, so Gregory Allen left North Carolina. He ended up catching a charge for possession with intent on marijuana. Did a couple of years. Ends up going to Manitowoc, Wisconsin. His people are from Minnesota. Okay. And I think all of these states are significant if you're paying attention to where Donald Trump is getting a lot of pushback and trying to do good, right? Because whatever's been happening in these states has been ongoing and festering for decades. It didn't just arrive overnight. It had to be planted, it had to take root, and it had to grow, right? will know them by their fruit. Okay, so Manitowoc, Wisconsin, actually the entire state of Wisconsin. I think like everyone else, after watching Making a Murderer on Netflix, who felt compelled to know something more about the case, Gregory Allen was a huge red flag in all of this. And I'll just do a real brief summation. So, Stephen Avery was arrested for the violent attack in SA on a woman named Penny Epstein in like 1985. I'll put up a screenshot. On a beach in Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And when I say beach, it's because it's on Lake Michigan. Now, parallel to that, we have Gregory Allen, who shows up in Manitowoc, Wisconsin, and begins terrorizing teenagers, young women. There's, I have tons of files. Like, this is how I learned how to research cold cases, file FOIA requests, fight with district attorneys with the pen, fight with Reddit trolls, and really start to grasp our legal system. Because unless you understand the system, you're not going to understand how this happens, right? You have to understand the network behind it. So Gregory Allen was implicated in multiple essays, okay? Never got charged. Stephen Avery was arrested. Penny was beat so badly about her face that they actually had a ophthalmologist come in to see if she needed surgery to have her retina reattached. Remember that, because she supposedly ID'd Stephen Avery out of some pictures that were brought for her. Now, he ends up getting convicted, even though he has 17 witnesses saying it wasn't him. He has receipts. Didn't have a history of doing this. None of that. He gets convicted. Stephen Glenn and another gentleman advocate for him in the wrongful conviction realm. They end up securing his freedom in 2003. Now, a bunch of stuff happened between 85 and 2003. One of those was Gregory Allen. Gregory Allen ended up getting convicted in Madison. I believe it was Madison. Green Bay. Gregory Allen ended up getting convicted in Green Bay in 94 and catching like a 60-year sentence, okay? And so he was suspected in multiple attacks, but I think they only convicted him on 2. Now, in 99, and nobody really knows about this, but in 99, he was linked to an assault in Hennepin County, Minnesota. But the detective, I have the file. The detective noted in the file that he contacted the victim, and she decided not to revisit the crime because he was already doing 60 years. I'm going to have to do a part 13 just to cover the Stephen Avery stuff. Shalom.